What are baby names people think are classy but really aren't? Know a guy who named his kid Bourbon. It's an old French name. Because that's what everyone will think when they hear it. Designer brand names. Always been odd. I had a pair of twin boys in one of my classes named Master and Sir. Anyone named after a designer brand or type of car. Chardonnay. I met a girl named Lasagna. I asked her to repeat her name about 10 times and this is what she kept saying. Later on, I figured out it was Lasonia. But she totally said it like the food. Khaleesi. After drugs. A friend of a friend named her baby Sativa. Reminded of that interview with Katie Hopkins where she says she hates when people name their kids after places. Like Brooklyn, and Phil's response is, your daughter's called India. Tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy, chef's kiss. Edit Phil, not Holly. Those made up ones like Rayleigh or Brayton, etc. Beverage names like Chardonnay, Hennessy, Shasta, Fanta. XAA she. Nevea, oh it's heaven backwards, fuck off. So is Snarap Diputs. Note to self, do not name my baby the way the ultra poor do. The ultra rich do. The Mormons do. Or the influencers do. Should be safe if you follow those guidelines. Anything with a non-traditional spelling. How the hell is anyone supposed to know that Avery is pronounced like Avery? Shea Dynasty. I've never met a Nevea who wasn't a hot mess express. I maintain that one of the trashiest things you can do is make your kid after some sort of luxury brand. Real people with money don't do that. North, Stormy? Them Kardashian names are not even names. Nevea. Chastity, I just have always thought that name was odd. I had a neighbor kid called Armani. Seriously, it was funny anytime his mom yelled at him, it sounded like she was dramatically searching for a bag or something. It was hilarious. The data found that 560 of those were named Khaleesi and 163 were named Daenerys. Poor kids. I knew a Pashian, pronounced Passion. Title names like Baron, Duke, Princess, etc. Any name that tries too hard to be unique or a weird spelling. Can't believe I haven't seen this mentioned. But people that named their kids after firearms. Like Remington. Names like Braxton or Ashley. I know it makes me a dick because they can't choose their name. But I immediately think, white trash. Might as well name your kid Crystal Metheny. Any of Jamie Oliver's children's names. Back in the day, birth announcements included the baby's name. Right after the Roots TV series, there was a boy in my hometown named Kunta Kinte. Seriously. I remember seeing legal notice of name change years later for this person from Kunta to James. Lol. Fancy liquor names. This won me a radio contest once when they were looking for the best pet peeve. It was when people name their children after things they cannot possibly afford. Know a name but also peripad, peri terms I use in charting OBGYN. Chappie. Lemmywinks. Destiny. Princess. Precious. Heaven. Diamond. All real names of real people. Sad. They all sound like stripper names to me. Lee and XNYN names. They're literally garbage. Lynn names Jamie Lynn, Caitlin, Kaylin, Marilyn, Adeline, Brooklyn, Ashlyn, Emmeline. I could go on and on. Anything spelled differently just to be unique bothers me. I'm sorry to anyone who has this. Ax 11 HTTP. Adjectives as names. I knew a girl named Lovely. I don't know. I live in a very diverse community and naming customs are so varied. I try not to judge. I work in a school with lots of kids with biblical names. Some very old. Some that translated into the child's mother tongue, etc. Some have siblings born here who were given English translated versions of names. We have an Essie with a sister Erica, a Yasser with a brother Noah, Jordan, Joab and David. Anyone who names their kid the same as them, so it's a junior and they call the kid junior as opposed to their fucking name. Giving your kid your own name is whack. Give them their own name, bruh. My mom was a social worker and had a family with 3 kids, Kavasur, Elise and Surrock. All 3 ended up getting removed from the home. IDK if PPL think it's classy. But Milena means feces with partially digested blood in it, and I've seen it used as a name. Destiny, heavenly, etc. They were probably considered beautiful at one point in time but are now synonymous with strip clubs. I don't want to sound mean, BC, we don't get to pick what our parents name us. But my sister's name is Alexis. Not Alexis, but Alexis. Her full first name is Alexis Empress. And my name is stupid, too. Billy Avril, Kelly Avril after Avril Lavigne apparently. And Kelly after my mother. I'll be changing my name to just Billy last name as I don't want my mother's name or Avril Lavigne's. I don't even talk to my mother. We're estranged. And I don't even like Avril Lavigne's music that much. The general concept of trying for an original name for your child is abhorrent. It's a human being. It's not an accessory. Give them a name that they will live with. Not a name that you think is clever. Fucking humanity. Neutrogena. Your Majesty or Shea Dynasty. My kid went to school with Blaise Pascal last name. She was a psycho at 7. Aziraphale and Crowley, when naming it to your twins. Nevea. Worst name ever. Ford F-150. Not a specific name. But when parents have multiple kids and name them names that all start with the same letter like Joshua, Jasmine, Jade, me think they see their kids as a set. And don't care what the name is as long as it starts with a certain letter. Nigel, it just makes me think smashing. Babies named after U.S. states or luxury vehicles. Like Montana or Porsche. Baby names don't stay baby names. A person is an adult for most of their lives. You're choosing an adult's name. That's what I kept in mind when choosing names. And that's how my kid ended up with the adult name Bertha. Kidding. 7. My boss at the video store I worked at right after episode 1 came out named his kid Anakin. Asterd. Edamame. Anything that rhymes with Jaden. Teacher here. Any kid named after a beautiful noun like blessing, hope, grace, faith, etc. Bad news. Every time. Classy. If you think you might want to name your child a different or classy name, try going out in the backyard and yelling it but adding to it as well. Like justice, behave, or chastity. Get that out of your mouth. Your neighbors will think you've gone a bit mad till they realize why. I taught a girl named Chardonnay and she was not especially classy. But she sure was teased for having a ridiculous name. Everyone assumed her mom was a wino. Candy. Why? Don't name your daughter this. Someone I know has named their kids Sovereign and Legacy. I saw a girl on Maury Povich one time named Shaymiracle. Chardonnay. It's not necessarily a bad grape, but it lacks sincerity. Readjusts monocle. Precious or Nevea. All the extra letters. Ashlyn, Kaylee, Braxlyn, Amy, to name a few.